Hey everyone, so this is Dan. We're going to be looking at the Call of Duty mobile application today and reviewing it and looking at some of the gameplay. So if you haven't already checked it out, it's a little bit bigger of a file size. It's a gig, maybe a little more. And the first thing we're going to be looking at here that you see going on is some of the character customization and loadout customization where you can select your different guns. One of the things you'll notice is, like in most Call of Duties, there's a ranking or leveling system where as you go you'll unlock more weapons, more attachments, again as you level up and go through it. So right now you can see that I have some of the attachments unlocked for the original gun and a couple other guns, and it just gets better as you go, which anybody who's been playing Call of Duty for a while is familiar with that system. The thing that's new-ish to it is because it's a freemium or a free-to-play game. There are built-in additions, XP packs, weapon attachments, camos, and so forth that you can actually purchase with real money that you put into the application. So it's not something that's required. However, if you want those extra perks, you can unlock them. And there's a couple of extra cool things that aren't always in your loadouts on the consoles and PC that's in the application that you'll see. And you can also set up your character a little differently as well and have multiple loadouts. And there's actually a loadout, as you see here, for the Battle Royale style. You can have a completely separate loadout for that play style if that's what you're into, or you like to switch back and forth. You don't have to change your loadouts every time for the two different game types. So here in just a second we're actually going to jump into some of the gameplay itself and shoot some people. So let's get to that, huh? Oh, these are the different score streaks that you can actually customize as well. So your original, or just like, you know, most of your Call of Duties where you start off with a UAV, hunter-killer drone, and a predator. As you go, you can unlock more as well, just like the weapon systems. And the cool thing about the kill streaks or score streaks is there is actually still a tactical nuke even in the mobile application, which is pretty neat. I guess there were some questions as to if that would be in there or not. So here we go on the first match. It looks like we're at Nuketown. So overall, one of the things that I've noticed so far is that the play itself is very smooth. The connectivity, the way the character moves, reloads, everything else, it doesn't seem choppy or awkward too much. As far as the controls on the mobile though, and it being a touch screen and everything, it is a touch awkward in that aspect. So I'm a little bit, you know, mixed on that, but overall I'm really impressed with how the game really moves, how it flows, the controls themselves. They actually have, when you go through the training mode, a couple of different aiming and shooting styles that you can select if that's troublesome to you, to help make that a little more comfortable as well. So as you can see, everybody kind of is struggling with that. Is, you know, you'll notice a couple of spots where I come up to an enemy and we're both just kind of looking at each other for, you know, a second or two. So it's kind of funny, but at the same time, a lot of fun still.
Reloading, cover me.
Just like in the classic games, you'll notice there, ran out of ammo on the main weapon, it auto switched to the pistol. If you notice down in the bottom right, you still have options to crouch, to jump, and everything else. You can swap. Like you see, I just switched to a grenade. It gives you an actual arc, unlike in the console games, so you can actually see where it's going to be thrown and everything. It comes in handy. You'll notice in one of the clips here in a little bit, I actually get a couple of kills with the grenade as well, as I'm experimenting with it, so pretty fun. In regards to the controls and being able to have a little bit more control, there have been a lot of questions as far as controller support, keyboard and mouse usage. Interesting thing with that is when they initially launched the game, which was actually just yesterday, the game would support controllers, so you could actually pair your Xbox or PlayStation controller to your mobile device and play with the controller. However, in an update since that time, they've actually already removed the support of controllers, so you can no longer use controllers via Bluetooth on your mobile device at this time. There is no final word on if that's going to remain the case or if they're going to bring that support back, because they're actually getting quite a bit of fans petitioning to get that back, because of the fact that people want to use controllers. Activision's stance on it is they want it to basically be just something you can pull out of your pocket and play. They don't want, you know, it to be a controller-based game necessarily. So at the moment, that's not something that is allowed or supported. However, there are emulators on the PC that you can look online. You can find those that are still available where you can actually download and install these emulator applications that will allow you to play the Call of Duty mobile application through your PC and therefore still play with the keyboard and mouse. Of course, there's some back and forth on the advantages that brings. Sometimes you'll get in a lobby, and I've seen it myself, where, you know, everybody has like 6 to 10 kills or something like that, and you got one guy who's sitting there with 40, 50 kills, and it's pretty apparent when that's the case. But until they, you know, either accept controllers again or find a way to stop that, it is what it is. So it's just one of the things with the mobile application, but regardless, it's still a lot of fun, really. You can see the hunter-killer drone going out here, shooting off just like it always does, going after a kill.
I got shot! Reloading!
Like the gun stability controls are very similar to that of the console, as you see me kind of crouched and hiding out in this room up here and aiming from the window. I do have a vertical foregrip attached to this weapon, and you'll notice that if I'm full auto firing, it jumps around a little bit. However, between being crouched, the foregrip, and shooting in small bursts, the weapon's actually extremely accurate at mid to long ranges, and I'm able to get, you know, quite a few good kills here pretty easily. This was my first look at one of the additional things that you're able to use, where you can actually get a additional weapon or perk that you use every so often. First one out of the gates, the flamethrower, which I believe you unlock at level 3 or 4. And then later on you unlock a minigun and a few other things that you can put in that weapons place as well. And that basically refreshes and you can use every couple of minutes.
Sniper eliminated. Grenade out. Sniper down. Boom.
When you finish a match, it gives you a little recap, shows you your XP you earned, the number of kills you had, some of the achievements as you see below. And then you can see there that I ended up finishing first place on my team. Ended up doing well. Hope you subscribe, hope you like the video. Tune in next time.